We're back. I don't know what happened. It happens. Monday. It's Monday morning. It's game time. Time this morning to get after it. You've got, we restarted. 1 minute. 1 minute. You got 1 minute. Share it, like it, encourage others. We're back on. That's right. You got 50 seconds. 50 seconds. Share, like, and encourage others. Winning in the morning right here with your own coach, Kinsley Jordan. We're talking about being effective. That's right. If you want to be effective, you got to focus. Also, talking about this little guy. This little book right here. Yeah. An amazing, amazing, amazing book. You don't want to miss this. It's too good. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Top of the morning, March 14th. Yeah, we're a little bit later scheduled today. You know why? It's spring break. When I was getting out of bed this morning, Brooke had one word to say when the alarm went off to be able to get ready for this. She said, "Why?" Why? It's spring break. I don't have to get up. She's finishing nursing school. She's just crushing it in life. Somebody's crushing it in life. It's Brooke Jordan, my wife, my bride. She's just getting after it. Kinsley Jordan, your winning coach. Welcome, Brandon Gable. Top of the morning to you. Good to see you. In case you have not figured it out yet, make sure you do this. You go over, whether you're on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Clubhouse, regardless of where you're watching, Instagram, yes, Instagram. Go over, subscribe. Make sure that you literally make sure you're getting this content whenever you want to. So you're getting the notifications, you're getting the live notifications, and you are you're finding out when this goodness is taking place each and every day, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, right here on the Winning Network. Also, I'd be remiss if I didn't offer to you as well. You didn't even see what I was doing. You know why? Because I didn't throw it up there for you. I would be remiss if I did not tell you this as well. Yeah, go there and subscribe. Also, if you haven't done it yet, make sure you join the Winning Network. Simply to get, again, a way to get notifications. Also, a way to be able to get the updated, encouraged information right here at Winning in the Morning and any other program and thing that is taking place with us. You can text WINNING right now. 405-645-7789. Yes, this morning, let's get after it. It's time. You're saying, listen, one, Kinsley, you're late. Hold on. I said we were going to be pushing back for spring break. I told you we were going to be doing this. One, you can be saying, Kinsley, you're late this morning. Normally it's 7 o'clock. I'm already getting the kids off to school. Well, if that's the case, then you're not on spring break, and I apologize for that because it's awesome. Two, listen, multitasking this morning. My goodness, if you want to be effective, you want to talk about getting after it and being able to dive into accomplishing the things maybe you haven't accomplished before and getting done the things maybe you haven't gotten done before. This is the day for you. We're talking about how to be effective by stopping multitasking. I know what I already know. I can already hear the cries and the moans of people saying, "Oh, whoa, how could you possibly say that?" Okay, one person who I know is going to disagree with me on this. This is my beautiful bride. She's going to disagree with me. She's going to say, I can almost tell you right now. She's going to say, Kinsley. No, she actually doesn't call me Kinsley. She's going to say, what do you mean multitasking is not something that's effective? What are you talking about? I multitask all the time. It's true. She does multitask all the time. But here's one of the things you got to keep in mind. Multitasking is not something that the vast majority is able to do. If you're trying to be effective in what you do throughout the day, multitasking is not a way for most people. Statistically, 99% of people do not have the innate ability to consistently multitask all the time. I'm not making this up. This is not something that I'm just arbitrarily saying, oh man, these are just the facts, and I'm just going to make this up. I'm just going to say, no, that's not what I'm saying. Brandon Gable, good morning, by the way. Top fan. Yeah, absolutely. If you go to YouTube, you can comment not only here, but also go to YouTube. Make sure you subscribe there and that you can leave comments. We want the conversation to continue. If you have thoughts, questions, ideas, man, throw it in the comment section. We'll go back and answer the comments and throw things in there because this is how the conversation continues and you get the help you're looking for. So Brandon Gable, top of the morning to you. So when we talk about this, I know Brooke is going to say, most likely, I disagree with you. I'm able to multitask all the time. As I said, 99% of people are not able to multitask. Look, I can't even multitask talking this morning. The vast majority of people are not able to do it. They are not able to do it at all. Not because you're unable, not because you're incompetent, not because that you just aren't as skilled or as talented as anybody else, because your brain literally does not function like that. Literally. And this is why we're talking about this. See this little guy? This little book. It's called Peak Performance. Absolutely, you can read the title right there. Elevate your game, avoid burnout, and thrive. The new science of success. This amazing good book. Brad Stolberg right there, and Steve Magnus. But this book specifically talks about how you can get into this place of max performing, this place of getting after succeeding in your life, whether it's going after goals, whether it's building healthy habits, whether it's waking up this morning and saying, oh, I'm going to get after my list. One of the key things this talks about, this principle of being effective, especially on a Monday. We got the whole week ahead of us, regardless of if you're on vacation or regardless if you are going to work today. If you really want to be effective, one of the most impactful things you can do, one, we've talked about this before, is to be able to outline and know exactly what you're trying to accomplish. One, if you don't have a list of things prioritized, identified of what you need to accomplish today, statistically, the probability that you are going to succeed and get those things done today is not good. It's not good. So first thing, if you really want to get after it today of being effective, make a list. You gotta make a list. You may say, well, I'm not a list person. I'd just like to keep it up here. Okay, well, this next point is going to be very interesting to you. Is that if you in your mind just try to balance all of these things, that's not how your mind works. Your mind is not able to divert energy to multiple different places. This is why today we're talking about multitasking is the greatest farce. It's the greatest lie. Well, it's not actually the greatest lie, but it is an absolute lie and a setback from the cognitive processes that you go through to accomplish the things you want to accomplish. Convincing yourself that you can multitask is like convincing yourself that you can fly with your own hands, going like this. Unless there's something that I've missed, most people aren't able to do that. And most people also are not able to multitask. Now, I'm not projecting this upon you, so let's go to the facts. Let's just go to the facts right here. This book, man, I really got after it when enjoying what this book had outlined and learning about how do we peak perform. This was all part of the effort of how and when I was helping to develop pilot training transformation, what that looked like. For the Air Force. So there's still elements that they're working through and what of how we are most effective as adults, how we are most effective in our lives is one of the most interesting things I've ever had the chance to do in the Air Force outside of what my current job is, which we're not talking about that. But there is this section in here that is awesome. It's this right here. Single tasking. And this whole section is so incredibly interesting. And I'm just going to read a segment to you, if you don't mind, which I hope you don't mind, because I think this is really good for you this morning. Okay, ready for this? Here we go. This section says, look, let's see. We love multitasking. And this is maybe true for you, but this is just literally what the good doctors say. It says, we love multitasking because when we do multiple things at once, we feel like we're being more productive and experience greater emotional satisfaction. This is true. A lot of the reason why we get this feedback in our lives, a lot of the reason why we enjoy doing things is not because we enjoy the action of it. It's because we enjoy how it makes us feel. There's a lot of power to the chemicals of emotion in your body, in your brain, in your mind. And like we've talked about previous weeks, your success is not just a compilation of checking things off a box. It's actually the chemicals and the memories and the things that are stored in this little nugget in your brain. Your brain is a very active, physical, forming, changing. Thoughts are a tangible, physical thing. Memories are a physical, tangible thing that you can literally see. And we'll continue, and you'll see this in a second, where it says, we feel more productive and experience greater emotional satisfaction when we say that we're multitasking. An internal voice in our subconscious mind says, and I quote, look at everything I'm accomplishing. Maybe your internal voice doesn't sound like that. Mine does. Sometimes. Look at everything I'm accomplishing. Look at all the boxes that I'm checking off. End quote. That's your internal voice. In society, that encourages and rewards optimization and multiprocessing. We can't help but want to optimize ourselves. Here's the hard fact. Unfortunately, our brains do not work like computers. Oh, that's a little bit painful. Because when you think about it, you want to think, oh man, my mind's a steel trap. Nothing gets in or out of this thing unless I tell it to. And that's not entirely true. Actually, our brain is our brain is constantly processing information, experiences, smell, sight, feel, the five senses. It's constantly processing this information. That's in our subconscious. There are so many things happening. I mean, just think about you right now sitting there watching this. Your body is feeling temperature. You may be feeling air across you. You may be feeling the fact that you need to brush your teeth. You may be feeling the fact of, the aches and pains of lifting yesterday and yourself. Your brain is processing all of this information while your mind is also not consciously telling your heart to beat. It's a subconscious action. It is an involuntary action. It just continues doing it. But your mind is the epicenter of all of this. There's so many things going on in your brain. And this is why this point within this book specifically says, we think that we are optimizing ourselves, but our brain is not like a computer. For 99% of us, our brain does not function this way. Even an individual who claims that they can be a multitasker, that actual MRI scans of the brain reveal it is impossible. Okay, I tell you, I only bring you the science and the faith and fact. Here it is. That MRI scans of the brain reveal it is actually impossible to do two things at once with a high level of quality. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Oh, that was such a good point, because I don't want you to forget this. I don't want that to be lost on you. It was this last little statement. It was this last little piece. I'll read it one more time. Even in individuals who claim to be great multitaskers, MRI scans of the brain reveal that it is impossible to do two things at once with here's the last piece. It didn't say it was impossible to do two things at once. It said it's impossible to do two things at once with a high level of quality. When we multitask, our brains either constantly switch between tasks or they divide and conquer, allotting only a portion of our cognitive capacity to a specific task. As a result, as countless studies have shown over and over again, the quality and, ironically, even the quantity of work suffers when we are multitasking. Thus saith Brad Stulberg and Steve Magnus in this book right here, Peak Performance. Now, I'm not, no, we're not sponsored. Although, guys, Brad and Steve, you want to sponsor, go ahead. We absolutely can. We have a few spots available. I'm not pushing the book Peak Performance. I'm not pushing really anything more than this idea is that even within this last month, Kinsley Trigger has had to do this myself. Sometimes Kinsley likes to talk about Kinsley in third person because it makes Kinsley feel better about the fact that Kinsley doesn't have things figured out all the time. Is this weird? It's a little bit weird talking third person. That's okay. Sometimes Kinsley likes to talk about Kinsley in third person because, I'm not kidding, it gives me an objective view of the things that I do without being, emotionally tied to whatever it is. So when I look at what I've had to do in this last several months, I was under this predisposed thought that I could actually, I could do this idea of multitasking. I could carry out many things at once. And the one thing that I started realizing is that I'm not being near as effective in the things that I need to be and the things that I want to be. I was making a little bit of progress in all these areas, but I was not making a lot of progress in all these areas. And it wasn't until I went back and read this book. I think I've read this book 2 or 3 times. It wasn't until I went back and read this chapter that I realized, oh my gosh, this is so incredibly true. I'm focusing in a lot of different areas, but I don't feel like I'm making this leap. I don't feel like I'm making these large advances of getting a lot of things done. So I'll ask you this morning today, when you think about the last time you really, really got you made a lot of progress, either qualitatively or quantitatively, in both of those aspects. The last time you actually got a lot of things done, not things as in multiple different events, but when was the last time you made a ton of progress in one specific area? Was it because that you were trying to do 9 things at one time, or was it because you focused specifically on that one thing? Which is it? For me, all I can do is attest to the things that I have done and the challenges that I've worked through. But the reality is I've not been able to continue working and focusing on multiple things at once. I have to focus in. If you want to be successful today, if you want to be effective in using your time to the utmost and not keep on getting sidetracked with little things, focus on one activity a day. Literally, if you look at my calendar, I'm not going to show you my calendar. Not today, at least, because it is, I still got some cleaning up to do this week. There's a lot of things on there that I got to knock out. But you know what? Today, literally, immediately when I follow this, when I'm done with this, I'm going to go in, if the kids are awake, I'm going to kiss them on the head, I'm going to make a cup of coffee, I'm going to, I don't know if Brooke is going to be awake or not. Maybe she is. Probably so, because she's very effective. But we're going to walk in there. I'm going to go kiss the little kids on the head, have the cup of coffee, give my wife a hug and a kiss. And then I'm going to come right back in here and get to production stuff for my work, for my first job, because that's what I have to focus on. And I put this allotted chunk of time down and said, okay, I'm going to focus on this. I'm going to focus. I'm going to get honed in and do this so that I can be effective and take more ground and get more accomplished. And it's going to be a higher quality, because there's this other thing. We're not going to dive into it specifically today, but it's getting in the zone. Like you're in the zone. You know what I mean? You ever sit down and do something and you're just like, man, I'm really cranking this out. Like I'm just really getting after it. That is actually a sign. That's actually a scientific alignment of when your brain is focused. When you are focused specifically in an area, you're like, oh, I don't want to step away from this. I'm like right in the middle of it, and everything feels like everything is lined up. I just need to go ahead and finish this. Yes. Go ahead and finish it. When you get in that place, when you get in that zone, when you get focused, when you are just like, you're feeling the vibe, you're saying, listen, I just need to keep going. I need to finish writing this paper. That is actually a place, an area of focus where your brain is honed in and you are able to accomplish more because it is completely focused on this task. This is why multitasking just doesn't work for the vast majority. Now, again, I'll say it again. There's always that 1% of people that are able to multitask, the 1%, just either the freaks or the geniuses or whatever you want to call them. But literally for 99% of us, our brain does not function that way. It doesn't function in a way where you can do these multiple things at once. Your brain functions not like a computer where it can have multiple processes, but it focuses very well on one thing when you put your mind to it. So when you do that one thing, you have a higher quality output. And you actually, when you have a higher quality output, it allows you to get through these things faster, accomplish to a higher quality, whatever it is you're focusing on. And you actually complete a quantity of work. You complete a greater quantity of work because you focus greater at the quality of work that you are having. This is a principle that I'm telling you can put into your life literally right now, right today, for this reason. First thing I said, if you don't have a list, you need to make a list today of the things you want to get done. What are the items you have to get checked off? What are the items you have to focus on? What are the items you have to complete? No question about it, you have to get it done. What are those items? Second thing, focus on one of those items until it is complete. That is going to change your mindset, your perspective. It's going to change everything about what you do today and the effectiveness that you have. And there's this thing that I want to show you real quick as we go over this. Oh man, do I not have it? Gosh. No, No, that's not it. Where did it go? Oh, hold on. I gotta find it. Find it. Here it is. Oh, it was labeled something else. Sorry. Here it is. So this is a section literally from the book that talks about, hey, if you want to have peak performance, if you really want to get after being able to focus and hone in and really accomplish something today, here it is. You can literally look at this section. Ping, ping. Right there. Here it is. I always screw that up. Applying components of perfect practice each time you set out to do meaningful work. 1, define a purpose and concrete objectives for each working session. I wasn't an author or co-writer on this book, but I feel like I just said this, and I feel like we have said this a lot on Winning in the Morning. If you make a list and you identify what you need to accomplish, you have a much higher probability of actually accomplishing it. So 1, right there. Define a purpose and a concrete objective for your working session of what you're going to do. Outline what it is that you need to accomplish so you can actually accomplish it. That's a good idea. 2, ask yourself, what do I want to learn, or what is it that I want to get done? This is so perfect. When you've written down the objective, clarify the objective and ask yourself, what are you actually trying to get accomplished? Step 3, focus and concentrate deeply, even if doing so isn't always enjoyable. That means shut off the phone, lock the door if you need to close out the window browser so you're not getting sidetracked, close out email, shut off the music if you need to focus, or if having music on helps you to focus, then turn the music on. Step 4, single task. The next time you feel like multitasking, remind yourself that research shows that it is not effective. It is not effective. It does not create quality work. In fact, it causes you to accomplish less qualitative and quantities of work. Don't multitask. Don't waste your time. Dr. Bob's Secret, that's the research doctor that had this literature on that page. Do only one thing at a time. And remember that quality is more important than quantity. If you really want to, and this really goes back to that statement we mentioned before, if you really want to get something done and accomplish it, you need to do a great job on that thing. So when you have it done, you don't have to go back and do it again. You don't have to refocus. You don't have to rewrite it. You don't have to go back and monitor it at all. Once it's done, that box is checked, and then you are complete. And that is all there is to the story. That's it. Call it done. Call it complete. Don't go back and do it again. Don't do a halfway job. Get it complete, get it finished, and move on to the next thing. This is so incredibly critical for you, for us to be able to focus in and realize that the best way for us to accomplish what we want to literally today and for this week is to do exactly this. I'll remind you, make a list, focus on what you want to accomplish with that list. Shut everything else off and focus on one thing at a time and knock it out. Don't multitask. Don't waste your time. It's not effective for you. It not only is not effective for you, but you're not going to get done what you think you're going to get done. It's not going to accomplish what you think it's going to accomplish. You're not going to be at the end of it where you want to be unless you focus on it. Just a little help this week. Starting off Monday, March 14th, crushing into it. Some people are on spring break, some people aren't. But right now, this morning, I hope that we have encouraged you, even just a little tiny bit, I hope we've encouraged you in being effective, because there's no reason to go back. Don't be double-minded and double-stepping. Don't do something and then have to go back and do it later. No, why would you do that? Get after it today. Do the right thing. Focus, take ground one time, and don't waste your time doing it again. Don't multitask, single focus. Get after it today. Write down your list, focus on what you want to accomplish, and don't back down. Come on, your greatest day literally starts today. Join the Winning Network right now. Text WINNING to 405-645-7789. Don't miss out on it. Travis Bryant, you got it, brother. Go get it today. Brandon, friends, Whether you're watching this now, whether you're watching it later, get after it. I believe in you. You can do it. We're winning today. This is what we do right there. If you haven't done it yet, subscribe. Thanks for watching, being with us. Winning in the morning this morning. Go crush your day. Make your list. Check it off. Get after it. There's no reason not to succeed. There's no reason not to win today. You got this. I'll see you Wednesday. If you have questions, let me know. Throw it in the comment section. We'll see you, friends. Yeah, it's going to be a good day. It's going to be a good day. I said it. It's going to be.